Shuli tell a federal court that he is an on-air radio talent?
Well, come Friday was my last show. That's it.
Good afternoon, Duke fans. That's right. We are saying goodbye to the Duke. And it's funny how a lot of people are celebrating his demise, trying to tear him down, taking tapes that, yes, they are legal. They can do it. But using them to profit and to embarrass the Duke. And sometimes you forget how entertaining the Duke is. It's easy to be a critic. I know. Very easy. The credit goes to the person that's willing to entertain us. The person, as they say, in the arena. Not those of us watching from the sidelines. You go back and you could take 3-4 minutes in a video just showing what the Duke has given us in 2 years since he's been anointed the Duke. And yet everyone here is trying to take him down. Personally, privately, publicly. And what is Shuli going to do if the Duke, now that the Duke is gone? Yeah, he can yuck it up for a weekend. And I've asked him publicly and privately to not use the tapes. Not because it's illegal. It's perfectly fine to do it. That's my legal opinion. I gave them my legal opinion. And you love how Shuli and Carl, they give their legal analysis, but they never cite me. You know, they never say, hey, Vince, thanks for giving me all this legal analysis. Because it actually did take a long time to figure out what the legal ramifications would be for Kate Meany, for anyone that publicizes those tapes. And again, I would never do it. I just report on anyone that did do it. But apparently, they're going to go on and show these tapes. And it's not necessarily unethical to do. It's not illegal, but I don't agree with it. And you look at how much the Duke has given us. And what do we really ask for in return? I mean, a lot. We ask for a lot. We ask everything in his life to be exposed. And yes, we know the Duke cannot change. That's the beauty of the Duke. I've made that mistake before in my life. And when the Duke does crazy things, especially attacking me privately, crazy in terms of the lies, I have to forgive him because I know who he is. So this is my tribute to you, Duke. This show, I'm going to do it in memory of you because I don't think any of these other people out here give a shit. I really don't. Speaking to them privately, it's not a game to them. They think it's real. Real trying to take down the Duke. Well, you better dust off that resume because these tapes aren't going to fulfill the rest of your kids' careers in terms of paying the mortgage while they're still kids. I don't know how many jobs they qualify for if they don't even have a high school education. I can't think of many. But this is my tribute to you, Duke. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing right now, whatever you've done to me, this is for you. This whole show is dedicated to the Duke.
Yeah, let's just tear apart a man. Right, shitway? Let's get some 24-year-old to illegally fucking record me, right? So you can fucking play me when I'm not thinking I'm being fucking taped. Illegally record a phone call. Not one, but a bunch, apparently. That's okay, right, shitware? Never personal. Always funny, right, shitware? And then you go and you send people to get my goddamn couch cushions.
As if that's a major thing. This is why you gotta love the Duke. He's actually upset about that. I mean, it's just as garbage.
And you have about 30 of you. How many people are going to this schlock event? Fucking DabbleCon, and it is a con. Fucking quality entertainment. And you're all okay with it. It's all okay with you guys. And they all got to take a piece of the Duke. Well, come Friday was my last show. That's it. Then I'm going away. I don't know for how long.
And we know now that it wasn't even Friday. We never really got to say goodbye to the Duke. He's gone. If you thought it was joking, he wasn't there yesterday. There's nothing going on in his life right now, like such as traveling. A lot of times we saw the Duke bluff, but this is it. This is over. The end of the line for the Duke. They threw him over the line with these tapes. Other things he can handle, but apparently, well, I've listened to the tapes. There's 2 recordings. There's 2 files. I don't call them tapes. There's 2 files. And my attorneys went through them, and there's a lot of information that we got. And thank God for these tapes, actually. And I told you before, something amazing happened in what the Duke has done to me and then what was on those tapes. And thank God for those tapes. And thank God for Kate Meany. But I'm not here publicizing. You don't see me playing any of the private tapes, especially the portions where he's talking about me. Now, I don't know if the Duke player is going to play any of that. And it's really not even that entertaining. But for me, it was game-changing what this guy admitted to.
But I've had it. With this fucking taping me illegally. Look, man, I'm human. I'm a human being. Yeah, I'm the Duke, but I'm a human being. And nobody gets it like I do. And I can take it for the most part. Just when you start with the family, you start fucking taping me illegally, and then playing them. Tell us who you are, Penis Wrinkle. Who are you? Tell us who you are. Who are you, Dr. Steve? I'll tell you I am Stuttering John Edward Melendez. That's who I the fuck am.
You better believe he is. Stuttering John Edward Melendez. And of course, John was yelling at me for using his middle name. And now it's become part of the vernacular in the Dabbleverse world. And even John Edward, who's watching right now. He's not watching right now. But you know who is watching? Zenhauser. A lot of times I forget to leave in the N. It's Zenhauser is his last name. I don't know why he just says Zenhauser. So those guys are up in Rochester right now. The dues payer rented the biggest flop house I've ever seen. Now, I don't want any of you to go on Airbnb or Vrbo and figure out what flop house they're staying in. And we're going to see a picture of it later. And it's very easy to find because I have not seen such horrible wallpaper in my life. In my life, I've never seen it. We're going to get in. What I'm talking about is where the dues payer, Bob, Zenhauser, Gina, Philip, Jay Russo, my favorite character on the show, they're all staying at this flop house. It's not technically Rochester. It's right outside of Rochester. So just type in Carl's Rochester address and then search for the cheapest houses close to it, and you're going to find where those guys are staying. And I don't want anyone going over there. There's no after party there. From what I hear, there's no after party. And I will say this. Thank you, Penis Wrinkle 12. And I know there's different variations of Penis Wrinkle. Penis Wrinkle has the tapes, has the 2 files, the recordings. And I saw that you were texting me or chatting me, Penis Wrinkle. I didn't believe you, but actually he does. My attorney said. He talked about meeting with Karen. He's in California Aviation. He's not. I know you all want to have this assumption that we're always going to be here tomorrow. That the gladiators, like John Edward Melendez, are going to be here entertaining us like it's a guarantee. And you know this in any part of life. There's no guarantee we're going to be here next minute, let alone tomorrow. The Duke is gone. And we all want to say that he's going to come back. You know why you say that? Because you miss him and you love him. You love him as an entertainer. You do. You can't get enough of the Duke. Fuck, the Duke is paying Bob Levy's mortgage. He's paying the dues payer's mortgage. He's paying for the food that goes into the mouth of the dues payer's kids. The Duke is paying for that. And you're trying to take him out completely? And part of the reason why I said to the dues payer is not to use the tapes is because that will only last for a few minutes. And if you made this representation to the Duke that you didn't use the tapes, he'd come back. And then you could still pay your mortgage and you won't have to get another job. But, I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do. I can't tell them what to do. I can just ask. But I do appreciate the super chat as well.
Stuttering John and Vince the Lawyer settled. Vince the Lawyer owns his channel and catalog, and Vince the Lawyer serves you at DabbleCon so you can't play the tapes. Vintage VTO.
That's not going to happen. I mean, part of that may be true, but I am not serving anyone. There's no legal basis that they can't use the tapes. They can use them. I was just saying it as a business decision. Perhaps it may be wise not to kill the golden goose. And that's what you're doing. You're taking out the Duke. The Duke is gone. Everyone thinks it's a joke. He's gone. He's not visiting California. You wish. In your mind, you're imagining that the Duke is basking in the sun, ready to come back on Monday. It's not going to happen. This is an in memoriam show for the Duke, in memory of the Duke. There's not even a goddamn plaque anywhere for the Duke. We all sit here as if the Dabbleverse is going to continue in perpetuity forever. It's not. And now with the Duke gone, you're going to see how boring this shit is. If you go to NerdCon 2, and we may be going as an appearance, but if you go, you're going to see that it pales in comparison to any type of event where the Duke is there. There's a different vibe, a different energy when the Duke is there. And you know it is too. If you had a choice, if you could see someone at anywhere, let's say a public place, you'd rather see the Duke, even if you just get in the presence of the Duke, compared to Zenhauser, Mike, Shuley. Would you really care? No, you want to be in the presence of the Duke.
Yeah, that's a cool story, man.
You know, showing up to my fucking house saying that you fucking tried to break in.
What?
I mean, and where I have to go buy a fucking security system?
Now, here's why you have to love the Duke. Of course, you know, when Alexander, my 9-year-old, decided to drive me down to the Duke's house in Cape Coral as opposed to going to Disney World that one day, the Duke is claiming that somehow I broke in there. And really our intent was just to deliver some beer to him. They love their Uncle Johnny. But either way, the Duke now has made a representation to, I can't really say. But he thought those people would just believe it. And then when we put all the evidence in to squash any type of claim, you know what the Duke does? He now goes and tries to backtrack. And he's going to claim that he bought an alarm system. And the Duke even went to the police station, apparently, to try and file a trespass report. Unfortunately for the Duke, a fundamental element of trespass is someone physically has to be there. You can't just say you're there. You actually have to go there. There's no such thing as imaginary trespass.
God, whoever's
And pay
done
fucking
that.
to get it installed.
I mean, hold on a second. This guy better have receipts on that.
Well, so he's talking about Vince, the lawyer, and Vince filmed a bit where, because everything is
That was not a bit. It was 100% real.
bullshit with Vince. So Vince filmed this bullshit thing as if he's trying to get into John's house and get into John. And of course, this fucking idiot falls for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
And is
Do you think John's that dumb that he would fall for that? Or is he doing it to try and attack me privately? I respect him either way for it, but I don't think John's that dumb.
mad that he got a security system for his house because he thought Vince was actually going into his house in Cape
Which,
Coral.
as a homeowner, Ossie, you should have a security system for your house.
Yeah, especially in that neighborhood.
Yeah, you make a good point, Mike. I didn't even think about that. John, stop telling people that this is your house. It's not. It's your mom's vacation home, and you're just a house guest there temporarily. It's not your house.
Yeah.
Breaking news right now, 4 people in a Cape Coral neighborhood are wondering whether they're safe. Police, dive teams, neighbors, and now Wink News all working to find out what sparked a shooting that left 1 person dead on Northwest 25th Place in Cape Coral near El Dorado Parkway.
What the fuck? That's right next to Carl's house, literally. And I'll show you a little bit later, but that is. So there was a shooting last night near Carl's house.
And now this canal seems
You can't really see Carl's house, but it's right next to that. It's to the right of it.
to be the focus of the investigation as detectives, some to be coming in and out of the home and then looking at the water.
Well, Emma, as you can see over my shoulder, clearly it is a very active scene right here. And as I'm turning my head, I'm noticing that there are canine units now on the scene. There's a dog sniffing around heading towards that canal. And like Russ said, this canal has been the focus all day long. Neighbors living on Northwest 25th Place.
Wow, that is crazy. So right next to Carl's house, there was a shooting, and obviously our favorite Indian reporter from Wink, Ash Patel, is down there in the canal that Carl's house faces.
Woke up Wednesday to caution tape police cars and officers. Why? Because 1 person is dead. 1 diver was searching the canal.
Oh my God, look at that shit water. Now, Carl, when you went there, didn't you look at the water? Now, I know you got tricked by living on the water, and I would too. I'm not making fun of that. But didn't you see that the water was nothing like the water that's in the natural portions of Florida.
Oh, that's been a big focus. You can see from this aerial view from our Wink News drone, officers and detectives looking through bushes near the canal.
I mean, that's where Carl looks out at.
Now,
Yeah, especially in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Discovered a dead person on
Yeah, so those you may know, and I did disclose at one point that Carl and John were 1.4 miles away. But when you see Diplomat Parkway, that may be where someone in the Dabbleverse lives. And this is crazy. That was right near Carl's house. In fact, portions of the bullets and the cartridges may be in Carl's property.
Northwest 25th Place. Hours later, SWAT showed up to a home along Northwest 13th Place, calling for that man to come out.
You could hear the gunshots around 10 p.m.
Holy shit. Now, I only made fun of the place because of the location and how dumb it was to actually build those stupid shit trenches. But listen to that gunfire. This is right outside Carl's house. Never in my life have I heard guns being fired. In my entire life, and I live in Manhattan. Not that, I mean, I know it's white Manhattan, but still, in my entire life. This is yesterday, next to Carl's house.
And just 5 minutes down the road on Northwest 13th Place, the
This is crazy how close this is to Carl's house.
SWAT team showed up to a home around 5 a.m.
5-year-old man is accused of vandalizing his neighbor's property in Cape Coral, but it's the tool that he used that's hard to scratch off.
Cape PD says Robinson used a Sharpie like this to vandalize people's property.
Are you kidding me? So we know that Carl has allegedly carved in or wrote in FSJ. I don't know if you recall that, but John Edward Melendez has made this claim without much proof that Carl used a Sharpie to write FSJ and FKB, that Kevin guy. So now maybe it wasn't Carl that did it. Now, I had told John Edward that I know Carl's S's from when we text, and that looked exactly like Carl's S. But can you believe 2 days ago, an 84-year-old man was just nabbed using a Sharpie to deface people's property?
Now this permanent marker is putting Robinson in permanent.
I don't know. Her S looks a little bit like Carl's S's as well. But how crazy is this that someone got busted using a Sharpie?
In trouble.
And it's the exact same color that was used on the doors at Stevie Tomatoes. And what are the chances?
I think maybe that was overkill. You don't have to arrest him. It washes off.
Cape Coral police arrested 85-year-old Charles Robinson, who they say drew on 4 people's property with a permanent marker.
We need to question him about where he was on the day for which Stevie Tomatoes had their property defaced by the exact same Sharpie and the exact same color.
I feel bad for the old gentleman.
But some victims don't.
Why do you feel bad for that old bag? Seriously, I mean, he's going around, using a Sharpie on people's cars?
Don't feel the same way and are pressing charges.
Bunch of Karens over there. You're going to press charges. How much time do you have on your hands if you're going to go all the way to the police station to go cry and whine about an old guy using a Sharpie? Just clean it off.
I spoke with one of the
not permanent
victims on the phone today, and she says the man used a Sharpie to draw a line on the back of her pickup truck.
Wah.
She believes that the man was possibly angry that the bed of her pickup truck was hanging over the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about this. And sometimes you forget because I haven't lived in white suburbs in a while, but white people hate this shit. They don't like if you have any back of your car blocking their sidewalk because white people like to go out for walks at night. I don't know why they do this. They have nothing to do. So then they bring their husband and their wife, and you see white people walking on sidewalks all the time. Now, the nice suburbs never have walkways. So this is one indicator to determine if you're living in a nice suburb. Go outside right now. Take a look. If there's a walkway here, it's not nice. Relative speaking, if there's just grass where you can't walk, then you're in a nice piece of property in the suburbs. But yes, white people hate this when you have that car hanging over.
That troll by Vince was so brilliant that no one remembers it.
Well, right. That's why.
Why is Philip J. Russo always attacking me? Philip, I love you. Stop attacking me. You're just as much of a bully as your boss. These guys are always picking on me. Philip J. Russo saying that the bit that Shuley recounted literally word for word, no one remembered. So either the newspaper really cares, watches the show all the time, which he does, or Philip J. Russo isn't correct here, but I am not going to come down hard on Philip because I love him.
They got to explain it.
Only for you to say, oh, I wasn't really there. Fuck off.
Like, his best shot ever to not have these tapes come out was to own this shit. Was to be like, you know why he hates me? Because I was a fucking asshole to him for no reason. Just like I was to a lot of people. I've made that mistake. I'm sorry. I've learned from it. Won't happen again. What's so hard about that?
Here's the real issue, though. Yes, of course, we want people to own up to their mistakes. But if John Edward could do that, and we know he can't because he probably doesn't have a narcissistic personality disorder, but if he did that, then we would never watch him. He would never have the courage to entertain us. That's the issue. And again, I made the same mistake before in my life, but you can't expect the Duke to behave in the way that we all do.
For him?
Yeah, of course not. And that's why I'm fucking pushing forward this time, because everybody lets this fucking guy off the hook. It's enough. It's enough. You have a bill that you owe on, and the payment is these tapes. That's all. Dead moms, kids, wives, medical conditions.
Ex-wives.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Now you pay, bitch.
New black husbands?
The guy's never done anything.
Classy Carl refuses to play tapes. Any chance Dewsbury will give the Duke a last-minute pardon and follow Carl's classy move?
And again, Carl did make the classy move and refused to play any of those tapes. And now the dues payer is going to charge people to come in and listen to them. And I'm going to again ask for a last-minute pardon for the Duke. All the Duke has done for us, everything he has given us, I'm asking to please let the Duke off on this one. Give him a last-minute pardon. Spare the Duke. Spare him. You get a lot more credibility in my book if you spare the Duke. Last-minute pardon.
What's it worth to John?
Vince, why
$12.5 million, and we won't do it.
Well, that we won't spare.
Why are you making up with this fucking scumbag? Oh, I know why. Never mind.
And Carl's not going to be in the room. He's going to.
And another thing, John Edward Melendez, if you're going to negotiate in good faith, stop having your people disclose to everyone exactly what we're talking about. How do they know these exact details? Because they're very unique in terms of a settlement negotiation. It's not even like they're asking for money. They know exactly what we're talking about.
Be outside. He doesn't want to hear him.
He doesn't approve of it, but from what I understand, he's getting a front row seat to listen to it.
And I'm going to commend Carl. And I told him privately, it's a classy thing to do to not have played those tapes.
So, I'll tell you what I think happened.
And the reality is, I guess in Carl's mind, is that he actually has something to lose. And initially, you don't know. Maybe John did have a valid claim because you have to actually look at the law. And it's not as easy as you would think. But my legal opinion, which don't rely upon, it's just for me personally, is that these tapes were not illegally recorded, nor would anyone in this area have any subject availability to California at all.
He had one final phone call with an attorney about trying to stop this, and the attorney told him, there's nothing you can do.
I don't know if any of that is true, but I would agree with the dues payer that John did look for attorneys. And look, I had to go and research. Remember when Bob was confronted by that attorney and Bob totally took him down and that attorney backed off? Remember the bravado on him? I get cases settled just by making a phone call and just on reputation alone. Red flags everywhere. You wouldn't even be telling me that. You'd just be doing it, right? When people get sued, you don't generally give them a heads up. You should be doing the exact opposite. Where is that guy? He's not doing this case anymore because once you really get into the case law, you see it's really complex. But in my opinion, legally, which don't rely upon, it's just for me, those tapes weren't done illegally and you can use them regardless of what the situation is here. Thanks again. Guarantee you play your dumb USB super chat dummy. Guarantee you play your dumb USB super chat dummy. I don't know what that means.
Because here are the facts. He can keep saying this tape is illegally recorded till his fucking face turns blue. No one has ruled this has been illegally recorded.
Look at the dues payer. He didn't even graduate from high school, and he knows the complex legal analysis it takes to make this representation. Dues payer, why don't you just tell him that your fans that you are texting with me, And how about citing my legal work, which took a long time to do?
So that's false. Number two, this call was recorded in a one-party consent state.
The Deuce Bear knows a lot about this.
Just like his Trump call was.
Mm-hmm.
End of fucking story.
It's really not that simple, but in the end, I do agree with the Deuce Bear's legal conclusion. Again, this is not a legal show. Get your own attorney if you have any legal questions.
That's it. If John came to DabbleCon 2 and approached you with a friendly handshake and asked for a truce, would you do it?
Now, that's a great question, too. I remember when they were teaching us about the Civil War, and our teacher told me this, and it sticks in my head that at the end of the war, both generals were able to sit down, shake hands, and move on. Meaning, like, they were literally killing 500,000 people dead, but they were able to shake hands, and that is a sign of true intelligence. If after a huge conflict, you can come to the person, apologize authentically, and shake their hand, and move on.
Frog, you have any thoughts on that?
If I know my Philip J. Russo, he is not shaking anybody's hand.
You're not
I actually really like Philip J.
serious.
No,
I can tell
you
what I
want
would
my
say.
thoughts on that?
I would say suck my dick, Skip, and laugh at him.
So the question is,
I don't know how these guys are so tough, because I've seen them in person. I've seen every single one of these guys in person. They don't look like what they do here. And they're very, very tough physically, according to all their bravado and all their representations. Mike Morris would not say that to him. Mike's a nice guy. Yes, he looks very athletic in person, but I don't think he would actually say that to John Edward.
Question is, would I shake his hand if he wanted to have a truce? Okay.
And the answer would be yes, of course, if you have that intellect. And it takes a while, and it takes training sometimes to get to that level of intellect.
Okay. This is from 9/27/23. Go ahead. I don't hear it. No audio.
That backfired.
So now we don't have both producers now. They're fired. All right.
He said, I have some clips of him saying all these awful things. And I write him a text. I go, I'll set you up for it. I go, just be ready. And I assume once I set it up, he's just going to come in.
Is that what setup means? Okay.
Look at the Deuce Pair playing the role of Howard Stern, yelling at Gary Baba Booey. I'd say this, leave Philip J alone. Maybe he's doing other work at the time, and not everyone gets your timing, Deuce Pair. He doesn't know for sure when he should come in with the clip.
And I go, you have any thoughts on this? Oh, I have. Thanks so much. I wanted to talk. Yes.
I missed that memo. I was busy blinking.
All right, what do you got? Clip number 1. Oh, I got to bring
Or
it
shall
up.
I say views payer? Or shall I say shit weigher? I'm going to say this to you, and I want you to listen very closely. I don't want to have to repeat myself. I don't care if it's from a tweet from somebody you think is my friend. I don't care if it's from a Facebook post from somebody that you think I know. Do not, at any time, start showing pictures of my children that are goofing on them and then continue to mock my child. This is your last warning. Consider this your last warning. And I'm serious. I'm as serious as a fucking heart attack right now.
And
I know your kids' names. I have pictures. I can do that, but I don't want to get that low.
Just in case.
But if you force me, then I'm going to have to go to the bottom and
Do
go
it.
as low as you.
Do it, pussy. Post pictures of minor children, little girls that you have no connection to that are in your phone or your computer. Did they find that when they were fixing your computer? Is that why they charged you $750?
Now, I did ask the guy that's fixing John's computer. I asked him if there were any pictures of the Deuce Pair's kids. He said there was like 1 or 2 that were there, but nothing inappropriate, obviously. The Deuce Pair actually has had his kids on his show. I don't know why he's getting so upset about that.
You got pictures of little girls in your fucking hard drive? Yeah, I ain't ever shaking this fucking dude's hand. We're here because this guy's a fucking bully. He's been a bully his entire life. And for a long time, I didn't say shit because like so many people, I didn't want the headache of John. You don't want this fucking idiot screaming about you every day. And then it just got to a point
where he couldn't pay his mortgage.
Where I said, fuck it. Fuck this guy.
Fuck this guy. I have 3 months of back mortgage that I owe right now. I need to figure something out. Hey, let me copy Carl's thing. And that was fine. Carl gave him permission to copy his exact show. And then luckily for the Deuce Bear, it hit.
It's time to fucking punch a bully in the goddamn face. And you know what they do? They run.
And you know I said this before. Shuley bullies me. The guy picks on me any chance he can get. He bullies me. Now, again, there's not much I could do about it. But he is a bully.
Run away. They run away.
When Suzanne and I, she was pregnant with our first child.
You got 3 kids, right?
Yeah.
How many girls?
I have 2 boys and a girl.
Uh-oh. John, you don't have 2 boys and a girl. You have 2 biological girls and 1 boy. That's it. Stop confusing science. Don't do what these Republican assholes do and deny science. You can do whatever you want to your body. You're free to amputate any parts of your body you want. It will never change your sex. Ever. Are kids off limits? Now, when we say kids, John's kids are older. They're adults, over 18. Do people get offended when you say something bad about their kids? Yes. I will advise this, not to ever be offended by words, even if they are of your kids. Because if someone really is trying to attack you, one of the best ways that they can accomplish what they're doing is to get you to react. Now, I may say that your daughter's ugly. You would be mad, even if I'm just joking about it or not, right? You would get mad, but don't let me know it. That's my advice to people, if you can do it. Now, you know personally that I've had my son, my wife, my baby daughter, all attacked on air. You never heard me.
I'm gonna stab all of them, Vinny.
I heard that big old boy, High Pitch Eric, is heading up to Rochester already. I won't be traveling up there with him, but we'll probably see him if we do go.
You fuck.
You never heard me get offended, call the cops, or do it. And of course, it is different when it's High Pitch Eric compared to whomever else. But I will give this advice to Tommy or whoever, John, yourself. Ignore it. Ignore it, and don't let the person who's saying it know it bothers you.
The first guy that we got was Shuley, and the only guy we got. And I started asking Shuley all these questions. Shuley, is it weird that John Hine is working on the show and he created Jump the Shark, and your show did too? And I'm asking.
You gotta pause.
Shuley's
You gotta
a
pause
little
it. And believe me, Vin, you know me. You know I am not one to shy away from a good fucking throwdown.
I certainly do, man, because this is after one time where he bullied me that one time when he called me up screaming at me over some stupid bit. He is tough, Shuley.
Right, a verbal confrontation I am not afraid of. It took so much for me not to get into it with him. I wanted to so bad, but I knew management would probably get pissed at me because it wasn't going to be done in a friendly kind of ha-ha way. Like, I was going to end it. I was going to be like, don't run up on me and you're looking like a fucking homeless, vet in your cargo shorts and flip-flops. And, and it was just like, it was so sad to see how far this guy has fallen. He's sitting here chasing me down in a hotel lobby. Who the fuck am I?
I told you in the past, I didn't agree with your response. I didn't like your response.
Yeah, I know you don't like me. I know.
Yeah, and I also don't like physically fighting in that situation unless your life is on the line or you're defending your family.
I wasn't going to physically fight.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. Like, what's going to happen? So what are you two going to do, right? So either you have to confront him verbally, which is not going to benefit you. I get that. Right. I just didn't like the look of it, and I didn't like the lack of fight back.
I knew what I wanted to say.
Hey, man, don't you think it's funny that the guy that coined the frame, coined the phrase jump the shark, now works for the show that jumped the shark?
My mindset when it happened was, he's recording it on his end, so no matter what I say or do, he's not going to play. He's not going to play what will go down, because in my mind, Like, that was a dick move on his part, and I was ready to throw down with some real nasty verbal shit. That was my first
I wanted to know what the douchepair was actually going to say. I think I tried to get it out of him eventually.
reaction. Is like, okay, no matter what I say, that's not going to air. It'll be his side of the story. He won't even air it. He'll just
Air where? He had that one podcast at the time with Royce, which has probably had a few thousand people listening.
tell the story, so there's no proof that it went any other way. Then you
could see there clearly the douchepair is walking away from him as John is engaging him. Now, what would you do in that situation? And it's weird. John looks about 2 inches taller than the douchepair, and I don't recall the douchepair being that short. He could just be slumped over. I know that backpack is pretty heavy. That may be weighing him down.
thought was like, I wasn't worried that I was going to get fired, because it's not like I invited him down to do an interview with me. The guy, ambushed me, or as he's like to say, japped me. And so my initial reaction was like, I don't want to give him this. He needs this, right? This is, nobody else is interacting with him. And
you see right there, Shuley is going to quote unquote security. He actually went to the bellhop. I don't think the bellhop's the proper person to ask someone be removed from a hotel. John doesn't have a right to be there. It's a private entity, a private place. So they could eject John Edward Melendez from there, but clearly the douchepair couldn't handle the situation without the intervention of the bellhop. Whether it be diffusing it with a joke or being physical, either way, he needed to have the intervention of the bellhop.
trying to push my buttons to get me to react, and I'm like, it's not going to happen. So it was more.
The bell's like, you crackers better figure this out on your own. It's like midget wrestling in my lobby. How about both you honkies get out of my lobby and go figure it out somewhere else?
More about me, not my job. There's nothing that I would have been responsible for, because if they were to call me in and say, why the fuck are you talking to him? I could say, watch the tape. The guy bum rushed me, puts me on camera. I'm entitled to talk shit and defend myself if I want to, but I just thought, for him, he would benefit so much more if I danced with him, if I responded, if I interacted in any way. And I just wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to give him that. So I just kept my mouth shut, walked over to security, asked them to please escort him out, and that was it. I knew what I wanted to.
Not every black guy in a uniform is security. That was a bellhop, not a security officer.
I had it in my head. It was.
Well, what were you going to say? Let's hear.
I don't want to say it because
Okay.
it was a jugular thing. It was definitely going to lead to violence.
Were you going to go after his kid?
Listen, all I was going to say is just give him a little critique on his life and what he should work on. And
Well,
look,
what though? I want to hear it. Like, you don't have to be specific, but what does John need to work on? If you're advising him,
maybe paying less attention to the past and more attention to the present and the people around you.
how funny is that? Because we know the Uncle Rico show that he ripped off from Carl is premised on the fact that John can't stop talking about the past. And the way the douchepair feeds his kids today, the way he's paying for that flop house for his crew up in Rochester today, is because of the fact that John has to live in the past and still lives in the past. So again, I don't fault the douchepair here because I was still in that same mindset that John should change. It's so dumb looking back now. John can't change. And again, I didn't know that he had NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, at the time. I didn't recognize it. But now that I do, I realize no matter what we say, he can't change. It's pervasive.
That you should probably pay a little bit more attention to. That's the nicest way I could have put it. Because, look, I'm a comic. Like... If you say some shit to me from the crowd, in a matter of seconds, I will find something to upset you. And so this is what I do. And so for someone that I know, for a backstory, I know so much about, you think it's going to be hard for me to tweak him? Like, in a second. But again, who does that benefit, right? I'm playing into what he needs, and, you know, it just doesn't benefit. It's a lose-lose for me.
wuss. And then he runs over to the, to the freaking concierge. Call security. Fucking Shirley, little fucking wuss bag.
Yeah, I remember Shirley. He was funny. Now, when did he pop on? When did Shirley pop on?
I love how oblivious that guy is that was interviewing John.
We gotta get Tommy.
Tommy.
When did I don't know, but anyway.
He was not happy that Tommy was a fan. That's my grandmother's.
Okay, so here we have the boys in their flop house in Rochester. Now, if you put in, let's just say you got high on land in Rochester, like if you're driving on and you're high on land, if you put in that road, well, you know what I'm talking about. Put that into Vrbo Airbnb, then look for the cheapest. Let's say you're getting high in 1910 or 1920 or something like that. Just put in 1900. Now, look for the cheapest flop house that's available on Airbnb or Vrbo, and perhaps you'll be able to see where the boys are staying. But I don't want anyone going there. Don't harass them. Don't bother them. If you just want to take a look. 206, go ahead.
Hey, Vince, why do you insist on calling Shuley the dues payer? Or
I don't know. I love the nickname. I hated it. Yeah, I got you. I hated it at first, and I like it. I don't think it's derogatory. I don't call him shitway. I don't like that nickname. I like the dues payer. Why, you don't like it?
Oh, I don't know. It's just kind of like stooping to John's level. But I guess if you just do it to just one guy, that makes sense.
Well, I would agree with you. And if you want to say hi to F. Mammy, our new reporter here at Lazy Law News, we can't really afford that many. We can afford one. But I don't think that dues payer is a derogatory term. I call him dues payer all the time to his face. And so I don't think that it's derogatory. What do you think, FK Mammy?
I am the real mommy. First of all. Second of all, I will be calling Shuli, not the dues payer. You know that. I love Shuli.
So do you take me calling him the dues payer as something where I don't like him?
I think it's like you're slighting him. But that's fine. That's fine. We could all laugh about that. That's not why I called. You have to clear something up if you could for just one quick second.
Go ahead.
All right, Vinny. Do you wear short chocolate Ugg boots? Yes or no?
Short. I think so.
Oh, my God. Okay. All right. That's all I needed to know. Have a good weekend at DoubleCon, everyone. Bye.
But just to clarify, though, I don't wear the Ugg boots that look like Ugg boots. I think the brand may be Ugg. I could be mistaken on that, though.
Home, Chris Zale. No, that's a different grandmother that died home. Chris,
That's why he's up here. 7 large army, $4.99. Good backdrop for a show about funeral.
This show was so bad, and I don't even want, I use the word show loosely. It was so bad. They sat there without any real clips and read super chats for an hour and a half. Don't call this a show, guys. You guys claim to be entertainers. You have 4 of you there. You're in a new location, and you can't figure out anything to do besides grifting from the fans. You have nothing prepared. And I'm not putting this on Philip J. Russo. I'm putting it on you guys. You had a blank slate to do whatever you wanted, and all we got was you dopes reading super chats. And this goes for you too, Bob. You're the funny one there. Why was there nothing prepared or nothing going on? I'm not blaming you, Bob. I know that your back is sore, and I get that. And your back's going to be even more sore after this weekend. I get that as well. But luckily, the princess of the Dabbleverse, Gina Levy, comes in and does something funny. I mean, she sensed it, that nothing was going on in the show. So here's Gina saving the show. Thank you, Gina, for doing that.
Well, when you have Bob here, Gina is crawling on.
Now, I've heard that Bob demands that his women crawl around the house, obviously to appease him. And that's how Bob is with his women. Bob's the dominant person in the relationship. He gets the females that are subservient, as they should be, to him, and he makes them crawl around. Now, these guys have never seen what a real subservient woman does in real life. They're so shocked by it, but it was funny to see on camera.
On the floor. I can't see the watch the go. Watch the ghost open the door. Nobody sees you.
Great pink juicy suit, great ass, everything going great there. And thank you, Gina, for at least helping this show out. I mean, it was the highlight of the show. All they were doing was reading super chats. So then we go back to John Edward Melendez. You give him a computer, he will entertain us. And that's the whole purpose of all this. It's entertainment.
It's great. I think she just
Great crawl and great ass.
made us $100.
There you go. There's more of that where that
Women
came
on
from,
all
guys.
fours, coming up soon. Yeah, we have Bob here. Of course, we're ready for a funeral.
I think on the pictures on Verbo, so here, now I don't want anyone to do this, but if you take a look at the vertical hardwood floors here, you can match that up with this door and or Airbnb. Don't do it because I don't want you bothering them looking, but all the other houses in Rochester have updated items in their house, including not having this type of wallpaper. And this is such a giveaway here. But Dewsbury, next time, get the boys something nice. Rochester has a lot of beautiful places. And when I say Rochester, they do have other towns right next to it. It's not techno Rochester. My friends from Rochester, from like the ghetto of Rochester, actual Rochester, the city. Now, this is a little bit outside in the suburbs. But either way, you'll be able to find this house pretty quickly.
There's a pie in the freezer, but try to bring some of it here at least.
Nice, Zen. Look at
It's by the sink.
And again, this was the show last night. I think the Deuce Pair in his mind believes that he's so entertaining, he doesn't have to work on his craft or prepare. I truly do believe this, and I'm not putting him down, but you cannot just hit go live and do what John Edward Melendez does. You're not at his level. You're not anywhere close to John Edward's level. This is fucking boring. Boring as fuck to see you guys sit here and read super chats. Prepare. Don't just hit live. That's the one thing I hated about Periscope, especially for the celebrity clients. I can go on Periscope and people will watch them, but the reason why it failed was because after a while it's fucking boring. It satisfies that initial gratification that you need to have people looking at you, but after a while it will be shitty.
Do you want him to crawl with it? Crawl back with it?
No, you can walk on two legs like we trained you.
And one thing that will surprise you, Zenhauser, again, is 5 feet wide and 5 feet tall. It looks like he's lost significant amounts of weight, so he's just going to be about 5 foot tall. I believe John Edward Melendez and Zenhauser are the same height. Now, when I first saw Zenhauser on screen, I thought he was like a big, tough guy, but not in person. Because I remember he went over about 20 seconds when we were at the Poughkeepsie Massacre, and Bob laid into his ass, and Zenhausen came back, tail between his legs. I'd never seen a guy cower like this. Again, it's disrespectful for Bob, I guess, to do that. I didn't realize that these stand-up comedians are so into their time. And I get that Bob is carrying the show, especially with the Deuce Pair not being there. But man, he was acting like a little girl backstage.
Hey, nice, and look at Gina's.
Holy Christ. Well, it's good to have a habit where you have to move.
Hey, that's Philip J. Russo.
Leave in the middle of the
And Philip, no matter how much you attack me, I'm still going to love it. I think you're the best person on this show. And in reality, why not have Philip take care of the show? At least we know we're going to get a performance. This was so horrible last night, guys. There was not 1 second where there wasn't a super chat on the screen.
You got a show going on.
Yeah.
You do?
That's the first time.
Love you guys. Thank you to Gina Levy for crawling. I mean, that was awesome.
And I do appreciate Gina for crawling there and saving the show. She watches a lot of the shows. It's fun to hear her laughing in the background. I always got a kick out of that. But either way, this tribute show is for the Duke. Duke, I appreciate all the time and effort you gave us, all the entertainment, all the laughs, all the tears. Following you for 2 years has been fun. It's been an honor. This tribute show is to you, wherever you may be. I hope one day you can look back and forgive the Deuce Pair for knocking you out of the Dabbleverse. I don't think you'll be able to, but I think that you can eventually forgive the Deuce Pair for taking those tapes and profiting off them to the detriment of the person who he needs to survive. The Duke pays for his kids' groceries. He pays for the dues payer's mortgage. Why would you want to kill the golden goose? It doesn't make sense to me. And leaving all that aside, now we don't have the benefit of the Duke entertaining us. You heard him. He's gone. And I'm going to miss him. And you're going to miss him too. And you always have these fantasies that he will be back. There's no guarantee. He's gone. He made that announcement. The Duke is dead. The Duke is dead. And I'll say that again. It's very easy to criticize people. It's a lot harder to be in the arena. A lot harder. So Duke, wherever you may be, this tribute show is to you. Thank you for all the time and everything you've done for the Dabbleverse and for me personally as well. Except for when you attacked me harshly. But I'm going to miss you, Duke.